Hey, welcome back to Sleeping on a Train.
Welcome.
You have to listen. We have conversations in between episodes. Sometimes we keep kind of talking about what we were talking about, but you got to understand that that's not included in the episode. You got to give context.
That's right.
Speaking of context, by the way, just real quick, you might have seen me go up and down and sort of try and figure out where I want to go. I think I want to go down here, because there's an item that I want to get. In fact, actually, both items that I want to get might be here. I want to get two abilities, right?
Right.
There's an ability called like the dash shade or something like that, which is extremely useful, especially for like, because I was kind of heading towards a boss fight. I think that like would be really helpful if I had that. And also, I really need to find the double jump. It'll open up so many locations, and I think it might be down here, but I can't remember.
Yeah, we were just carrying on our discussion of channels getting bigger than the person and having multiple people doing things for them. And so I asked if, because I know I'd looked at old Lindsay Ellis videos and saw that they had like multiple people doing it, and I thought that maybe she still does it these days, but you just said.
Yeah, well, I was saying that she
like
used to be
sometimes,
Nostalgia Chick, and she used to be part of that guy with the glasses or Channel Awesome or whatever.
Yeah.
And we were talking about like, you know, making videos for passion and stuff like that, and instead of just being factory made assembly line things. But nowadays it feels like she makes videos that she's really passionate about, and she just, you know, she's like, I don't even think she necessarily like what could you say that she does? Like, what is like the thing? Commentary videos is the best thing I could say, but like, I don't know.
I think she does.
She just makes.
She does tap into the really popular stuff sometimes, but she does it with a bit of like she does it for a reason. When she does tap into those mainstream movies, she did one on Game of Thrones because everybody did, but also she had a point about it.
Well, she's passionate about Game of Thrones. She wanted to make it. That's what I mean. See, I don't feel like she made it because it's popular. I feel like she made it because she was passionate, and she wanted to talk about it. So it turns out I'm missing an important item, which I don't remember what it is. It's like a crest or something. I guess I just straight up don't have it.
I've always been interested in the idea of having a big group of people working on a project. So like I've like one of my dreams for my personal magazine is to have multiple people working on it on a regular basis. And I almost had it at one point, but then I don't know what happened. I just wasn't very good at pulling a team together. I think that's what it was. And I wasn't very good at communicating my ideas and having a serious talk about what I wanted and how to get it. And so I didn't get it ultimately.
Right.
Whereas I feel like I'm more capable these days because I would just tell the person, you know, this is what I want to do. So I've always been interested in the idea of having multiple people for the magazine. But then I think for something like Hurricane, I think if it got to a stage where it was as big as like Marvel or DC, it would just lose all of the personality and innocence that comes with it. Like, you can't attack it too hard because it's one person doing all of it. Whereas something like Marvel or DC, if you think it's shit, there's a lot of people to blame for it.
Yeah. And which is also, again, a very kind of factory-made sort of thing, pumping out a comic every, month or something like that.
I don't think I could do the same thing for supercars videos, though, because I don't know a lot of people who are into supercars. But also, I don't really know how I would do it. I could get someone to edit it, but I mean, you don't knock it if you haven't tried it. I guess is the go-to thing to say about it. Is that, you know, I haven't had a team of people make a video before. Obviously, we've got Stephanie doing all the editing, and but it's more like a group effort. It's not like a production line.
No, I know what you mean. Yeah. Also, I wanted to say, I think it's funny that it's a bit of irony, I suppose, that I said, like, you know, making something every month or whatever. It's like when I literally make a page for my comic every week.
Yeah. Well, that's because
I'm extremely passionate about my comic, and it's like what I want to have for it. But at the same time, I don't think I want Cass to be like, you know, thing, because like I don't know, again, like, what are the kind of comics that I read? Scott Pilgrim, right? Scott Pilgrim is my favorite comic of all time. Why? Because Brian Lee O'Malley is extremely relatable to me, and he just made it because he was passionate about it and he wanted to, right?
Yeah.
And like, he might have been under pressure by like publishers and stuff like that, but he was still making it because he like this was his goal, this is his idea. You look at someone like Marvel or DC, like they're making stuff every single damn day because they have to, not because they necessarily want to, because it's their job, not because it's a passion project.
And when you start to do that, people start to notice a decline of quality content, and then they start to lose interest.
Plus, like you start to really standardize yourself. You start to fall into habits and stuff. You know, you don't really. The thing is, I think there's like a famous phrase or something like that, but it's like repetition, like encourages, like less. What's the word? Creativity, I guess. If that makes sense, or it's like. Well, it's like, you know, if say for instance, if you're making a comic, or drawing a comic like Superman or Batman or whatever, and you're drawing like 1 billion pages every damn day, you're gonna eventually like fall into like just drawing it the exact same way, like a formula. That's the word. You know, and you're just gonna keep drawing like that, and you won't improve anymore necessarily. You're just gonna keep sticking to what works and what's standard and like what you think. You know, it's just to get it done effectively and on time and stuff like that, right? And as a result, you're kind of limiting yourself as an artist. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? And it applies to all, you know, mediums and stuff. Oh, here he is, finally. Hey, dude. Hey.
You alright?
Hello.
No.
Uh-oh. The door closed.
Okay.
A whole lot of brain juice. Oh boy. My jaws went away. Okay, I don't remember how this fight goes. This is the easy version of the fight. So there's a couple of bosses in this game that have 2 fights according to them. Shit. I probably won't do them in this playthrough because they're very, very hard. Fucking fuck. Where after you beat them, you can use the dream now to go into their memories when they were really cool or when they were just, oh fuck, I missed my opportunity. Yep, and I died. And the bosses like are 1,000,000 times harder. This is one of them, I believe. So we get to fight him when he was like not possessed as he is right now. And one of the other ones was the worm. The fucking grub in the armor, the false knight. Except he's not a false knight in his memories and dreams. He's really, really hard. I never beat him. He's hard even if you have all the upgrades, and that's the scariest part. This boss I think I can take.
Right.
I feel like I'm pretty weak. Is the thing. I feel like I haven't been getting any like upgrades. And I'm just kind of like going to what I remember rather than what I should be doing.
Well, you said the game would get harder. It was starting to get really hard.
Yeah, of course, but like I don't know. The thing about this game is I'm just kind of going, man. I'm just having a little adventure.
I think the difficulty should come from the rate of upgrades, or you get all of the upgrades and then the game starts to get really hard because they slowly get taken away from you. Something like that.
Slowly taken away from you?
Well, yeah, I think that's what I think that difficulty should come from, not just because the thing is just so much more powerful than I mean, it can be that as well, but like this thing is. It also comes from skill, I suppose.
It comes from skill. The thing is, like, this is the way this game works. Is like it's a challenge, right? So the easier bosses, they're just like, you know, whatever. As you get more abilities and stuff, the bosses become harder to match those abilities and to do it. So that's why they're more challenging.
Yeah.
Right. It's not that they need to take things away from me. It's more just like now that I'm putting on my big boy abilities, you know, they're gonna start throwing the more challenging things at me. It's like, okay, you got these abilities, now prove that you can use them. You know.
Alright.
Fuck.
That's why different versions of the same fight.
Yeah. Well, the different versions is like an extra challenge. You know, but no amount of abilities will help you. Well, they might help you, but it doesn't make it any easier. Well, maybe it does, but not. It's still hard either way, and it's just pure skill. You know, essentially. Most abilities in this game do not really assist how good you are in combat. Like there's one ability that I wanted to get, but I couldn't because I didn't have the right I didn't have the key, where essentially it allows me to, when I dash, I kind of become invincible for a second. That would be very useful to have.
I like how they've got those sort of references to your look, like your character's design.
Yeah, there's a reason for that. There's lore in this game. He is one of my he's one of my kind, if you will.
Yeah. One of your species.
Yeah. I could tell you the lore of this game. It's a bit Dark Soulsy, which means you kind of got to find it yourself.
Yep.
I haven't watched proper lore videos on this game yet. It's like I've been planning to do soon, but I know the general idea. Basically, there's a location that's I wanted to get to. That's the same location that I was talking about before. It kind of reveals a little bit more, so I might wait until then before I tell you the lore. Because it's like a cutscene that happens there. It's all like, wow, yeah.
Are you gonna try to get this done before the end of the episode?
I don't know. Should I?
After it's well up.
Okay. Well, if I die, then yeah. All right. Well, next time on Hollow Knight, I'll beat this guy.
Yep.
Goodbye.
Bye.